Guys, we're live. He glitched. Quit it. Enough.
We are live. We are live. Y'all take. Yo, everybody that got beef, you take that shit somewhere else. About most of y'all in 3 or 4 Discord anyway.
No, I'm good now. I'm good.
All right, I don't want to.
Sometimes you gotta put kids in their place. That's all.
All right.
Ricky might got boot him, brother. He's out. He's discombobulated, man. I got him tight, brother. You might got boot him.
No, I don't boot. I mute.
I'm talking about the voice chat. Yeah, you got mute him, brother.
Yeah, I don't boot. I mute.
I got him tight right now. He can't. He out of breath right now. He out of breath right now.
Oh man, but anyway, everybody have a good weekend. Everybody have a good weekend. All right.
Bang bang.
All right. Oh man, so now we have Sinners who, man, I heard, I lowballed it. I said it was only going to do about 20 million the second week because it was going to be a 50% drop off. That didn't happen, folks. Didn't happen. What happened with Sinners is, and let's put this on the screen. Sinners only had, I think, a 16% drop off. But let's see here. Let's get the real shit here. Let's not make up things. All right.
6%, not 16. 6%.
That's why I said let's get it right, okay? So now here's what surprised me out of everything. Goddamn Star Wars Revenge of the Sith. Hell, that came back. Now listen, this to me it's not like a remaster or anything. It's just the same damn movie they put out there. Bro, this is why I tell y'all, the strongest franchise in Hollywood is Star Wars. They're going to sell more toys. They're going to sell more tickets than anybody. And you can try to fight that if you want to. The Force is strong with that shit. So let's go look at Star Wars. And I'm interested in Star Wars because now, see, look, they're calling this the 20th anniversary. All right. But what they're going to do is they're going to mix it all together with what Revenge of the Sith was when it first released. Which, I mean, you know, I didn't really like Revenge of the Sith too much, to be honest with you. You know, I think my favorite Star Wars movie is still probably Empire Strikes Back. That's probably the best one. You know, he finds out that Darth Vader is his father. It's like there was
Damn, Ricky, you just told your age.
Not really. They have these things called DVDs that you can watch too. You know, doesn't mean yeah. So it don't mean I told it, but I am old, but I can still fight. So I ain't worried about that. But yeah, that's cool. But hey, Sinners was number 1. Star Wars out of nowhere, number 2. The Accountant, who I thought was going to be number 1. Yeah, you know, you had Ben Affleck, you had Batman and the Punisher, had a little movie combo here, and you know, I thought that was going to be number 1 actually. And Minecraft won't go away. Minus 49% from the previous weekend. Remember, this is not from release. This is minus 43.9% from the last weekend. And it still did 22 million. Minecraft might do $1 billion, folks, because right now it's at 816. So that's 816. Will it still be in the movie theater come Memorial Day? I doubt it. But that's another. So you're talking about 183 more million. Now I know they're gonna get about another 10. At the weekend box office that's coming up here. So they're at 22. They'll do at least 10. And let's say if they do 10 overseas, so that's another 20. So this movie will be, well, it'll be about 850 minimum when you're coming back next week. It'll be about 850 minimum. All right, then you have Until Dawn, who, where's Vaughn? Who said that Until Dawn was better than Sinners. But let's see how Until Dawn did. Until Dawn, now here's where it's good. It made 18 million. I think the movie only cost $15 million to make. So they're hell. The movie's paid for already. They're sitting down somewhere, just chilling.
Wait, hold on, Rick. You doing domestic or global sales?
Global. It's 18 million worldwide.
Oh,
yeah. Nah, not for a movie that only cost $8 million to make or whatever it was. Let's find out.
8 million in global. You only made 18.
Yeah, bro. Listen, hold on. I'm gonna tell you. I don't know where is Ty that man. He's the only. I'm glad you're here because he usually gives me pushback on this, bro. Your performance on what you made, it's indicative of how much the movie cost. So let's see. Until Dawn. Let's see how much it cost. All right, because that
8 million. It cost $8 million.
Yeah, all right. So
No,
8 million.
I'm lying. No, it wasn't. I'm lying. Excuse me.
15.
15 million. That
15
movie was
million.
15, yeah.
So listen, if you're 15 million and you made 18 in your first week, hey, at least you're not, in the red. Hell, you might get a sequel. Because here's the deal. That 15 million, that is pretty high for a horror movie. Horror movies box office are usually kind of, tame, not really that high. I can tell you about The Wolfman. The Wolfman was a flop. The Wolfman came out, and I actually saw that movie. Another Vaughn movie. Vaughn was interested in that movie. Wolfman
I
called.
heard that movie was trash.
It was 25 million to make, and it only made 34 million. So the Wolfman owes some receipts around here. So it wasn't a good movie. It was not. There were better. You give me the guy that directed Thriller, John Landis. He made a better movie with the vampire in London or whatever the Wolfman of London, Werewolf of London. That was a
good movie. I liked it. That's when I was little. That was a good movie.
I heard the cling cling button. Did somebody subscribe? No! Whoa! Look here! Look who's here, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages.
Thank you, Mac City, for the $2.
The Mac.
LOL.
The
Holy
Mac.
Jack off.
The Mac.
Now sad.
Oh man.
Ooh. Thank you for the $2, Mac City. Thank you.
Mac City is here, ladies and gentlemen. And my bad. I'm sorry. I didn't even shout out my chat. I'm sorry, chat. I'm gonna shout y'all out right now. It wasn't me. It was the one-armed man. What happened was we started late. I was doing a proposal up, and I got a little carried away here. But just to let you guys know, Briadios, King Reaper, and Mac City, and also the Swordfish are all here. Thank God for them. They are here and they're keeping it alive, all right? So how you brothers doing? I'm sorry I didn't shout y'all out. I'd never do nothing like that. We had kind of a civil war going back here, so, we were trying to fix that. But, we'll talk about it later on. But again, thank y'all for being here. Shout out to the brothers! Shout out to the brothers that they do. They're here. All right, so Until Dawn cost 15 million to make, made 18 million. That's good. That is not bad. Now the accountant, I'm getting a little nervous here. So the accountant is up to 24 million. It has not released internationally yet. So let's go see what the accountant part 2 cost. Let's see. So the accountant 2 has a budget of $80 million. And I'm told that so far it has released 37 million. This website is not up to date all the way. Wikipedia has it for 37.7. So that being said, they're almost there. Hey, listen, man, it looks like that Sinners is not going to go away. So let's take a look at Sinners, folks. Listen, I was a little nervous with Sinners, but look at this. 161 is sitting at. Now, keep in mind, Sinners did not release globally all the way yet. There are some international markets that it is being shown in, but it's almost there. And when I say almost there, Sinners has to make $180 million to break even, because some kind of deal that Coogler had with, some kind of streaming service, and, we had an advertisement and production all together. He is at 161. He needs to make about between 170 and 190. Now, there were other sources that said he needed to make 225 in order for the movie to break even. I think it hits 225 easily. It's at 161. It's not in all the markets right now. There's still good word of mouth. There's still people that haven't even seen it yet. There are people doing repeat views of the movie as well. They're telling you they're going to give you a piece in IMAX and you can come and see it, blah, 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 whatever. I think at the end of its run, it's at 161 now. I think it does about 280. I would say by the time that it goes to DVD or it gets out the theaters, because a lot of drive-in movie theaters are opening up now because it's the springtime, so they're going to get some sales from that too. Now I get it, a drive-in ticket doesn't cost as much as a regular movie theater ticket, but it's still a ticket, and he gets half the sales, the ticket sales for so you do 122, he gets half of that. And just to make sure that we're kosher with this, I want to put it up on the screen so that we can all see it. All right, so Let me get this up for you guys. All right, so according to some publications, Sinners, we know what the production is, and the reception. All right, so here's what I was telling you guys about. As of April 27, 2025, it's grossed 123 in the United States and Canada, 39.8 in other territories. Now, some publications claim that the film needed to gross 170 to 185 million to break even when factoring production budgets of Coogler's first dollar gross. Now, people might want to know what is first dollar gross. I'm glad that Wikipedia has this freaking highlighted. Now, this is what first dollar gross is. First dollar gross is a practice in filming in which a participant receives a percentage of the gross box office revenue starting from a film's first day of release. Now, first dollar gross is something that's implemented in Star Wars as well. So now, they get money from the day of release. The participant begins sharing in the revenue from his first ticket sales, not waiting until the film studio turns a profit. So, he's getting paid now right away. That's why he's not going to make, well, not him. Warner Brothers isn't going to make money on it until it hits around the 190 mark. Some said 225. But hey, I digress. In a film finance and distribution term used primarily in the United States film industry, in France as of September 2003, one condition of filmmakers to get government support is that the money must be reimbursed on the first dollar gross basis. First dollar gross has become a rare arrangement, and compensation has increasingly shifted away from first dollar gross to back-end compensation, like Robert Downey Jr.'s deal with Disney. His deal is he didn't get any money up front. He got his money on the back end when it hit $1 billion. So for doing the Avengers, he got $50 million because that's what the movie made on the back end for him. So sometimes taking the money on the back end. Will and Martin took money on the back end for the last Bad Boys film to keep the initial cost of the film down. That film was $100 million. Hell, Will Smith can probably charge that for a damn movie himself. In fact, I believe that's what he wanted for Independence Day 2 and 3. But they didn't want to pay him that. But anyway, first dollar gross is a net figure after certain expense deductions rather than a true distributor's gross. So there's a lot of math in that. There's a lot of numbers. There's hidden, hell, they're going to throw all kind of hidden fees in there, you know, just so that this thing can slide across at the break-even mark. Now, again, this is Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers has been saved by Minecraft because Minecraft, it turns out to be I don't think Warner Brothers thought Minecraft was going to do $800 million. I don't believe that at all. I don't think they did, but it did. So, that being said, now Warner Brothers is kind of getting in the green. They're getting in the green there. So, Iron Mike is here, ladies and gentlemen. And we want them draft picks, Iron Mike. Doing that to Shador Sanders. Yeah. Shout out to Iron Mike. He's here. Now, Mike City said, I'm on my way to see Sinners this weekend. So, got Matt going through. He said, The Counting 2, I watched that ish like this on stream. Hey, it's going to be, I can't wait to see it because, you know, my man, the Punisher's up in there and everything. So, hey, we're going to see what's going on. Now, as we want to wrap up the weekend box office here, we will see that these three, it was a very, very good box office for America. America's been struggling on box office. A lot of people don't want to go to the movies, but it's starting to get warm outside. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Brother Ali is here! How is the Thriller Ali doing, brother? What's good, man? It's good to see you here. Now, Max says probably the reason we haven't gotten a Legend 2 or a Hancock 2. I Am Legend 2 is coming. And guess who stars in it? Michael B. Jordan, alongside of Will Smith. So Michael B. Jordan, hey, folks, whether you like it or not, he's one of the hottest black actors, pause, in Hollywood. Who's a hotter black actor? You had Jonathan Majors, who was hot at one time until he had women chasing him in the streets. But who is the hotter black actor than Michael B. Jordan right now? Please, chat, chime in. Who do you think is the number one or the hottest black actor right now? Now, there was people saying, and I believe it was Ty That Man. I don't know where he is. I haven't talked. That's not like Ty not to just show up. Do you think Michael B. Jordan should play Blade? I mean,
Nah, I don't see
No,
that.
no, no.
Nah.
they let
Michael
RDJ
B.
come
Jordan-
back
Michael
and
B.
be
Jordan too much
Doom.
of I ain't trying to be funny, but Michael B. Jordan too much of a pretty boy to do that. I think he's better as just Killmonger. Like that's like he's better at that. The swagger of it. Like I'm not saying he can't pull off a Blade, but he would just look goofy in Blade. Like he would just look weird because people want to look at him as Blade. They would just look at him as Killmonger.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Dark Lord Fusion is here. La 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 la. So now that we got the brothers in here, folks, I need to know what y'all say. Hey, listen, I put up a poll question, and y'all get your votes in. I said, will sinners make more than Superman? 86% say yes right now. So that's the running joke around here. Parker's not here. He said he didn't want to come on the show. He didn't like the way things were. So, hey, fuck him. We going on with this, and Superman is a bum. So, Parker, you didn't want to come on the show, so I say, party over here, fuck you over there. So that's what we doing. You go over there. Go over there and shine these shoes, brother. So that's what you can do. So anyway, look at this box office, folks. You don't see these kind of numbers until the freaking, the summer. 45 million, 25, 24, 22, even Until Dawn 8, King of Kings, The Amateur. Now, The Amateur, this movie, this is a good movie. It has a dude that played Freddie Mercury in it. There you go. And Lawrence Fishburne up there. I want to see this. In fact, I'm going to go see this maybe Saturday. It's The Amateur. I do want to check that out. And you have Warfare at 8, Pink Floyd Live at Pompeii at 9. What the hell are we doing here? How did that make that with 678 theaters? And then we have The Legend of Uchi Wally Wally. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here's what you don't see in the top 10. Snow White and them goddamn dwarfs. Does anybody see that? Does anybody see? Does anybody see Snow White and them?
Snow White was trash.
Wait, do we see? Hold up, wait. I see 11 is Drop. 12, Pride and Prejudice. 13, Cheech and Chong's Last Movie. On Swift Horses. 14. Wow, there she is! I found Snow White! Look at this, folks!
At the bottom.
I found her! Snow White. I'm sorry, honey. Let's see what you did. Oh my God. Can you imagine a Disney movie making less than $100 million at the domestic box office? I don't think this has ever been done before. I mean, the only time I've seen a Disney movie less than $100 million at the box office is if it's in, I don't know, its first day on Friday. Hell, by Sunday they usually have $100. This is terrible. And I hear that she has a show on Broadway that's not doing too well either. So maybe she cannibalized her career for, political views or whatever, man. It happens all the time. Some people, they go crazy when you talk that politics stuff. And, bro, you say something. Hey, Briardios, marathons? What are you talking about? The game Marathon? You mean the game that lost 2/3 of its audience? Stop this. Yeah, stop this. So Thriller Ali said, yes, Disney's A Strange World made less than that. All right, but what was the budget on Disney's A Strange World? Let's see. I gotta see what this Strange World is. That was in 2022. That was pandemic-ish, was it not? Let's see, November 2022. Thriller Ali, was that kind of in the what's the name? But it is one of the biggest box office flops of all time. The film grossed only $73.6 million with a projected loss of 197. See, Thriller Ali, it only lost 197 for Disney, but that is a good stat you got there. Remember, Snow White lost them like 600 million, between 5 and 600 million. That's a lot. That's enough to get you fired, and your daddy fired, and get you sued. That's disgusting. So, before we move on from the box office, anybody have anything to say about the weekend box office? Levon, you've been quiet. Larry Buzz, he's quiet too. Smoothie, probably at a freaking club or something with some bottles.
I got nothing, Rick. So.
Okay, all right. So, all right, where are we moving?
All right, we're moving on to X-Men and Avengers Doomsday update on that. And basically, they plan on getting more comic accurate costumes for the Avengers Doomsday movie.
Really? Now,
Yeah, and that's for the X-Men.
so X-Men getting MCU update for Doomsday and Secret Wars. All right. So are you talking comic book accurate costumes? Is that what we're doing?
More comic book accurate. That's what the article said.
I think that's a bad idea.
Yeah, for Doomsday.
Avengers Doomsday. It can't seem superhero costume. Yes, sir.
Oh nah, my thing was messed up. I was trying to ask you something. You must didn't hear me.
Why
you think that Snow White did so bad, man?
Well, because she said that if anybody was on the right side of the political aisle, to unfriend her, unfollow, and do not come see her film. And
you think that's going to affect the kids' movie though? Political kids don't care about that.
Hey, listen, that particular party is all about family and having a bunch of kids. So those people, think about a family on the right side of the aisle. They're going to have a minimum of 3 tickets because they probably have a child or 2. So let's say 3 to 4 tickets times 13. And basically, remember who they voted for. He's in office. So basically, everybody that voted for that guy, in theory, wouldn't go see this movie because she asked them not to. That is what you call cannibalizing your movie.
You think Minecraft sales would have got messed up?
I think if anybody does that, it does. That's why they tell you, they have it in your contract for you not to do that kind of stuff. They tell you to keep your political matters, under your belt. They don't want you to go out and say, hey, I'm for this or I'm for that. Because then, I mean, you guys got to remember, we're just in a Discord with about 100 people. And if somebody says something political back here, they're either a coon or a buffoon and high noon and moon and they bought a Zune, all kind of stuff. They kill you on it. So imagine that times 1,000,000. There's a lot of people who won't go and do something like that just because they're political freaking. Bro, you have people in their families that won't talk to each other if they voted a certain way. So I'm telling you right now, actually, here's why I believe it's the truth, because all they had to say was there was a same-sex kiss in Buzz Lightyear, and none of those conservatives took their kids to go and see it. And Buzz Lightyear was also a big flop. When's the last time you saw any kind of Toy Story, anything labeled with Toy Story having to do with that film do bad? Those are the only damn movies you see on Rotten Tomatoes that are like 98%, 97%. I don't think they ever had a bad Toy Story ever. Not ever. Their toys sell well. I mean, hell, Toy Story was almost a picture-perfect family movie until they started doing that stuff. Putting certain stuff in it that will either alienate other people that could. Listen, I'm gonna give it to you straight. No pun intended. Here's the deal. When parents take their kids to go see a movie, whether it's right or wrong, I'm not telling you that. My kids are old enough. So it's for you people who have younger kids, not for me. But when you take your kid to the movie, a parent does not want to explain to their kid why is the same-sex person kissing or this or that or whatever. They go there for entertainment. The minute that you have to start explaining stuff, let alone in a movie theater, and the kid's going to ask you right there because kids are curious, the kid's going to ask you right then and there. He's not going to wait till after the movie. If he's a young kid, he's going to say, hey, Dad, hey, Mom, why is that happening? And for that mother or father to have to stop and talk during a theater where you're not supposed to talk, have your phones on, any of that stuff, it becomes problematic. They go there to be entertained, not to explain things. And that's what happens. They don't want to explain it. They go there to be entertained. And that's what killed Buzz Lightyear. And that's not what killed Snow White. What killed Snow White is because she ran her mouth. She ran her mouth. She went political. And then she had a tweet. And in her tweet, she was like, shout out to all my co-stars. Ba, 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 ba. I love you and free Palestine. Can you really imagine saying that? When you know it and I know it, where how many people of Jewish descent run Hollywood? You just, I mean, you know what? Hell, you might as well cut your dick off and throw it in a freaking garbage disposal. What the hell? I mean, that's just stupid. I mean, why would you say something like, that's like me going to Def Jam back in the day saying the N-word if I was a white guy. Can you imagine that? What the hell is wrong with you? You can't do that. especially when most of Hollywood is ran by Israelites or people of Jewish descent. If you to say that, that's crazy. You listen, even if you believe that, don't say it. Like you can kill your. She killed her career. I believe
So you saying she's dead in this town? She'll never get work again.
Not. She won't be in anything over a budget of about $15 million ever again. Never. She won't do it. So that's what happened with A Strange World. Okay, so that's why through Ali saying A Strange World. Yeah, bro. Listen, those things, bro. Listen. Let me tell y'all something. Hate is real in this world. If you hate something and you're really against it, I've seen people that were so indulged in a console war that they were buying $500 Xboxes just to smash them with a bat. Can you imagine how fucking stupid you got to be to do something like that? And I saw dumbass Xbox guys buying PS5, smashing them with a bat, throwing them off off their apartment building, watching them break it. What the fuck is that all about? And they're the same people that agree to you and say that the prices are too high and that you can't get something and this and that, but you got $500 to throw away over a piece of plastic. There is a problem in this world with a lot of us of being immature. Immature people buy $500 consoles to break them up. Immature people write things about how they're co-stars and they love them, and oh, by the way, free Palestine, because they want to get their thing in. It's almost like a kid that wants to get the last word in when he's in trouble. Look, man, our nation has to grow up. And until they grow up, this is what the hell happens. These people, and they're gonna start putting these things in their contracts and say, hey, look, if you go getting political and we believe that is the reason why ticket sales have dipped, oh, we got a problem. What's that girl, the jacked up, attractive white lady? She's all jacked up. She played in the Star Wars, The Mandalorian. What was her name? Gina something. I forget her name.
Oh, yeah, damn.
Yeah, I forget her name. So anyway, Star Wars or Disney was suing her because she made comments about a certain orange guy, right? And supporting him. Now, she's going to win this lawsuit, and I'll tell you why. Because that little girl that played Snow White said free Palestine. If you're on the right side of the aisle, don't vote. Unfriend me. Don't come see the movie. Bruh, Gina's about to get about $30 million. Or she'll get her job back. See, because Disney... Yeah, she's still suing him. Hell yeah. Listen.
I thought it was over.
Yeah, you cannot jump to conclusions in this world. When everybody jumped on Johnny Depp and said that he was the bad guy when this girl was taking dumps on his bed and all this other stuff, yeah, you can't do that. You can't do it. You can't. You got to be careful. You got to be careful. Hey, you saw what happened with Shannon Sharp. Bro, listen, you can really get in bed, no pun intended, with man or woman that will fuck your life up forever. All the stuff that Shannon Sharp said about Jonathan Majors and the quarterback of the Browns, not Shedeur Sanders, the other one. Yeah, Deshaun Watson, all that stuff he said about them. The chickens have come home to roost. He looks like a real fool out here. He said, don't feel sad for them and this and that. Bro, there's a such thing called poetic justice. This is what happens when you open your big effing mouth. Now you out here looking stupid. Everybody that's freaking out here 56 years old having sex with a 19-year-old, raise your hand. See what I'm saying? That's a damn shame. And he's got to pay. He ain't never going to step on ESPN again. A report just came out today that said the co-worker said if Shannon Sharp comes back, they are quitting. They said they're going to quit.
They said that? No.
Yeah, they said listen, this man has choked. This man has allegedly been accused of choking other women. This is his thing. He likes to choke people. I don't know what his problem is. You know what his problem is? He don't have any self-control.
It was just for fun, though, man.
And I heard Shannon. Okay, listen. I sat here and used to listen to Shannon Sharp every day with Skip Bayless tell me, and all the other 20 million people that used to watch that show. That man used to say, money just makes you more of what you already are. Right? And Deion Sanders said the same thing. He said, if you are a whoremonger when you're poor, if you get rich, you're just going to be a whoremonger with money. If you were a deviant when you were poor, Shannon Sharp, growing up eating turtles down in the backwoods of Georgia, he gets money. He's just going to be what? A deviant with money. That's all. Hey, listen, man.
Strong deviant.
Hey, he's a big, strong deviant that don't want to put on condoms and hurt people. You know, he bro. Listen. I don't look. Do I think he's guilty? I don't think he's guilty. But guess what? Them are your words saying that you were going to choke her in public. You said that. So however she spent, I mean, I ain't never seen a dumber brother in my life. Like, this talk about an alley-oop. I mean, goddamn, this is like the Bugs Bunny and the Roadrunner and shit. She dug a hole, covered it with leaves, and this nigga walked right into it. Fell down. Yeah, I never seen nothing like it. With all this shit going on, you killed Deshaun Watson, you killed Jonathan Majors, you killed the Patriots owner, you killed Kraft, all of them, and you go out and do the same thing.
So would you say those men was coons and they got what they had coming to them?
No, I think that when this world, here's one thing this world won't tolerate. A liar, a thief, and a hypocrite. Those things you can't have. You can't have your pastor preaching to you every Sunday, oh, lordy, this is this. Oh, lordy, and you get caught buying prostitutes.
You said the country won't tolerate that?
The world doesn't like that.
What,
bro.
You say the president is all of that, though, what you just said?
Well, see, here's the difference.
He's a hypocrite.
He does lie. Well, here's the thing. All politicians lie. Shannon Sharp's not a politician. Shannon Sharp told you he keeps it real. Shannon Sharp said he tells you the truth. Shannon Sharp has a talk show where everything he says you assume is true. President doesn't have that.
He never said he wasn't choking. Nobody never asked him, was he choking white women, and he said no.
Okay, then do not demonize the brothers who have had issues with women in the past, saying you don't feel sorry for them. Because he wants people to feel sorry. He said it about Deshaun Watson, but he wants people to feel sorry for him now. I bet your ass he wants people to feel sorry for him. He does. Telling some girl the girl said she's gonna put her tongue somewhere and then marry him. Bruh. And then she says, there's more to come. That's not even half of it. So here's what I would say before we move on. If you offer somebody $10 million to just not say anything, and they say, no, thank you, I'll take this 50 over here, what does that tell you? That they got something. They got receipts.
No, let me ask you something, Ricky. Let me ask you something. Because I'm going to tell you what I believe. You tell me if you believe this. I believe that $10 million, whatever she got on video with him, is something wild, and he don't want that video to get out. That's why I think, because he said he offered her the $10 million because it was private stuff that he don't want out there. I think whatever she got in that video of him doing something kinky, she may be pegging that nigga or something.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Bro,
that's why I believe he gave her the $10 million.
If what you said, because I ain't gonna repeat it. If that's what's on that tape, that nigga becomes a meme of the century. He becomes the meme of the century. Yeah.
Can he sue her?
Can he sue? No, because they had an NDA and he broke it. He released her name. He released her name. He showed the text messages. Yeah, she signed it. She did sign an NDA. She didn't come out with that stuff until he came first. He broke the NDA himself because I guess he figured, hell, the embarrassment was worth it. Here's the deal. If you had $100 million coming to you, you don't really want to give her $10 million because now you only made $90 million. I don't know, man.
If it's like how I said that there's something on that video like that, he better have gave her that $50 million.
Bro, you know what? I don't think he got it. Yeah, but well, listen. J-Dub says a lot of things. Yeah, we don't listen to him.
The way J-Dub explained it, it kind of makes sense why he would get her the $10 million. Because if she draw it out, legal fees probably going to be more than $50 million. So why not just say F it and just give her the $10 million instead of paying more?
I don't disagree with you. But here's what I would say. I don't disagree with you, but here's what I would say to that. His reputation is all he has. He's this big, strong-looking guy that gives you relationship advice, tell you how tough he is and what he would have did, and when I see you, it's on sight. And remember he was talking all that tough stuff, picking a fight with Ja Morant and his father and all that stuff. And if this man is caught in a compromised position, taking an innie instead of an outie, he's done.
He's done.
He's done.
Yeah, he's done.
He's done. He's done because there already were little rumors when he got out the truck and they had pictures of him, how he was, and he carries that man purse around. Oh my God!
Yeah,
He
but
he lived the alternative lifestyle.
Woo,
yeah,
and
but
that,
I also got to think about the things she said she wanted to do to him. What if she really did do it and recorded it?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's why
I'm
I think
talking about
the $10 million was awful.
not what you said. You said that.
Now-
I just threw some wild, but anything something crazy. That's why I think the $10 million was off, because there's something on that video he's ashamed of. He don't want nobody to see.
Probably that tongue in a place the sun don't shine. That's probably what it is.
no, I think it's worse than
I'm sorry, but you can't get
Yo,
your
dudes be weirdos. Didn't they have the Spanish baseball player one time dressed up in lingerie when he was freaking off with the girls? These don't be knowing what a dude into.
Oh man.
That's why I just said I was finna tell Rick. I mean, you can't be tough looking and give your what tongue where the sun don't shine, Rick. That don't
Should have had him she could have had him in a dog cage, walking him on. You don't know what the hell was going on.
Yeah, the BDSM stuff.
Yeah. So that's what her content is, that BDSM stuff. So
Oh,
she
man.
something like that with her.
She had him tied. Yeah, all type. Yeah. He probably do some crazy stuff. Damn. 50 million worth.
I like to say it ain't me. I don't care. He go there, give me some money, huh?
Yeah, that shit is crazy when you on camera. I just found out a chick had me on camera, but I'll talk to y'all later once the show is over. But anyway, what we was talking about? Next subject?
Yeah, we gonna move on from Shannon. We were just talking about the X-Men, and now Sharp's in trouble. But hey, Ty, that woman's here. All I would say is that, this is why you can't kill somebody, and I'm not talking about literally kill. This is why you can't say you don't feel sorry for somebody or all of that stuff, because you never know when it's gonna come back on you. You never know. You never know. You never know when somebody's recording you or anything like that. And he's in a lot of trouble. Worst case scenario, he loses his job and he has to pay that $50 million. Best case scenario, he doesn't lose his job, but now he gets embarrassed.
Yeah, but that's what I was going to say.
If it's my bad, not to cut you off, my bad. If it's a compromising position, he with Disney. That job is going anyway. Best case, he don't got to pay the 50, but he lost that job.
Wow.
But I was saying to Rick, if she posted, he could say that's revenge porn. He could say that.
Well,
if she make that public.
Here's what
you can still sue her. That's what it's called, revenge porn.
But it would probably come out in court. I don't think she would mess the case up and do that. It would probably be something that would come out in court. Should be getting leaked from the court shit, and TMZ get their hands on it and all that type of craziness.
Bro, listen, let me tell you something. The fact that he, bro, he's in trouble. I don't. His reputation is, man. I hope he saved some of that football money.
I know.
I hope he did, because now that $100 million deal that YouTube's going to offer him is probably $50 million now. Because those deals of them signing you are indicative on the sponsors. If your sponsors start pulling out, you don't have anything.
Yeah. I think Boost Mobile pulled out too, because some guy I watched named Anton Daniels, he had broke it down on one of the Ocho Cinco shows of him, and they was covering up the Boost Mobile little sign in the back.
Oh, so Boost Mobile probably pulled out on him. Pause.
Yeah.
Jesus. Wow.
Oh damn! It say he only make $10 million a year according to Google.
Yeah, that's $10 million for year. He made a bunch of his money. At first take, he got paid decent money, but he wanted to make as much as Skip, and they said that's why he left. However, the big brother over there, who people call him a coon, Whitlock, said that the reason why they got rid of Sharp is because he had a lot of whole HR incidents. He allegedly choked a woman at Fox Sports too, and
I just heard about that.
Yeah, he choked.
Yeah,
It's funny.
Is that real? Is that real?
Well, listen, I gotta say this. He's been accused of choking 3 women, and all of them are white. All of them are white. Listen, listen,
Damn, Shannon, what's going on?
listen. Not only are all of them white, Shannon Sharp said the only time you would see him with a black woman on his arm is if he was holding her until the police showed up.
I looked that up, Rick. I ain't see it. I remember when you said that. I couldn't find that.
He said that. Huh.
Yo.
Let's hit the Google button and let's see if that's true.
Hey, man. I seen a couple of clips on his show. He's talking about the young girls, though, so he do be saying crazy stuff, though. Damn.
Matter of fact, this was on.
Said something crazy about Meg Thee Stallion too. Like
so Lavish Life, who also heard this at one time, he says, if you ever, this was the quote, Shannon Sharp, this Lavish Life 243 posted this, and I'm not saying that he's not the source, but he said this in a football locker room. He said, if you ever see me with a black woman on my elbow, I'm just holding her for the police. That's what he said. He said, this is what Jason Whitlock said Shannon Sharp said to him. Wow, Jason Whitlock said this is when he's
that incredible. I ain't taking his word.
He said that's what he said to him. He said when you live white and talk black, you sound like an idiot. Hashtag Shannon Sharp. He said this is what Jason, because Jason Whitlock. Sorry, so now Jason Whitlock is saying that's what Shannon Sharp said to him. I heard that he said it in the locker room. Either way, you don't say shit like that. It's not funny.
Well, that man not credible. I can't take his ass because you can't take him seriously.
I tell you what. Guess what? Guess what? He said that Shannon Sharp had issues at Fox Sports and that he had an HR file of doing stuff. Now some of that stuff's coming out. So you can say he's not credible. He was credible with that. So he was credible. Yo, Vonson, that sounds like Eclipse.
You might gotta pay
man.
He got 3 cases.
Man.
HR joint.
He said first one wasn't true. He beat that case, Rick. No, that wasn't when he was at CBS, Mac. I know what you're talking about. That's the one at CBS where he left the CBS pregame show for a little bit because she had a restraining order on him. Yeah, he got some cases on him. Look, but Mac, let's keep it a bean. There are people that beat cases that were absolutely guilty. Can I interest you in O.J. Simpson? I mean, that's what it is.
Ricky Brown.
Hey, watch yourself. Now, a lot of y'all were probably too young to remember, but in the O.J. Simpson case, the DNA that was found, the blood that was found in the Bronco, matched Ron Goldman and Nicole Simpson. The only reason why you didn't hear about it was because the LAPD left the evidence out in a car that was 120 degrees. And they got Dr. Henry Lee from Connecticut to testify and say that leaving it out there can contaminate the samples. If they didn't do that, they would have brought that DNA evidence to court and O.J. Simpson would have been in the electric chair. That's a fact. A lot of people don't talk about that. The blood that they found in that white Bronco was that of the victims, but they couldn't use it because the LAPD foiled the freaking case. They foiled it. Hey, listen, he said, brother, if I beat the case, you can't keep calling me guilty. It's not how it works. Hey, it is what it is, man. Hey, listen, he said, we're not going to do that to OJ. There's no absolute proof. Yeah, it is. For Ali, the DNA sample showed that it belonged to Nicole and Ron Goldman. I mean, hell, that's checkmate right there. Ain't nothing you can do. But they couldn't admit that evidence because the LAPD is stupid.
And they said DNA testing wasn't as good as it is now.
So that's all I'm saying, bro. Hey, look, the DNA, listen, we can't bring, no, hell no, I ain't going to be there. First of all, they're too rich for me to hang around them. But look, listen, why don't y'all watch that OJ case, the documentary? You think I just made it up? That's where I got it from. Yeah, there you go, Vaughn. No other suspects. So just out of nowhere, somebody decides to kill these 2 Jewish people because they're angry. Yeah, okay. That'll work. I mean, man, we got to stop, bro. Listen, we got. Oh man, we got to stop that. The man, listen. If I wasn't there, I don't know.
That's crazy. When it's a black man, it's a white man. Once you found not guilty, you're not guilty. It's over. Once the black man found not guilty, he's still guilty.
Okay, let me ask you this: how many white guys have killed? Okay, how many white guys have allegedly killed their ex-wife and her lover or friend, what they called him, and have no other suspects?
So it's a few. We don't know.
Okay, well, let me ask you this: there was a dog at the fucking house, and the dog didn't bark. He didn't get angry. He didn't have any signs of biting anybody. And that can only mean that the person that was the perpetrator, the dog knew. I know if you come to my...
His man that did it, that was staying there. What was his name? Tato or something like that?
Kato stayed with OJ. He didn't stay with Nicole's house. This happened at Nicole's house. Didn't happen over there. All I'm saying is, if you come on my porch, Big Daddy Cool Diesel is going to have a fit, and he's going to bite you, unless you're my father, because he knows him. That's it. That's it. Knock him out.
They say he might have paid.
He ain't paid nobody. The nigga did it. Listen, yo. Okay, well, okay. You know, that's the funny thing. Hold on, I can't let this go. Hold on, DNA.
They found him not guilty. He didn't do it. You ain't got no proof, Reggie.
That's it.
Look, I'm not. Look,
Ricky,
the man.
That's a question, Ricky. Have you ever seen a case where a person has all the evidence against them and they really innocent? They really didn't do it.
Hold on. Look at this. I want y'all to look at the screen here. Hold on. Y'all think I'm capping? Okay. DNA evidence collected from O.J. Simpson's Bronco, specifically 11 samples, indicated the presence of DNA matching Simpson, Nicole Brown. Hold on. I got to make this a little bit longer here. So, can you see that now? Simpson, Nicole Brown Simpson, and Ronald Goldman. The evidence, along with other DNA found at the murder scene and in Simpson's home, was presented as strong evidence of guilt during his trial. The 8 samples that were collected by a LAPD lab on June 13th. 3 were collected by the State Department crime lab. All 11 samples matched DNA profiles of O.J., Nicole, and Ron Goldman. Controversy, the defense raised concerns about the potential contamination and tampering of the DNA evidence, suggesting the possibility of police planting the evidence. Despite the strong DNA evidence linking Simpson to the crime, he was acquitted of the murders, in part due to the defense's successful challenge to an integrity of the evidence collection and handling, like I just told y'all. Because it was in the heat. Hey, look, man. You know the funny thing is, look, man. He said, unless you believe the theory about his son doing, yeah, exactly. He said Rick sounds like them folks. Listen, bro. You know the funny thing is, you guys are gonna sit here and tell me that I sound like them folks and this whole OJ thing. Oh. Where y'all at? Where y'all at with Shannon Sharp? Are y'all protecting him? Huh? The slave mentality. Man, listen. Listen, bro. How many? Okay, you know what the funny thing is too? We have all of these crime shows talking about DNA and how DNA will lead you to the person that did it. The DNA matches, bro. The DNA matches in the goddamn Bronco. What do you want?
Ricky want to dig up OJ and put him out the grave and put him in.
Listen, you know the funny thing is, and Mac and you guys, y'all niggas is weird. Yous were the slaves. OJ don't give a fuck about black people. Didn't he tell you? But still, OJ said, I'm not black, I'm OJ. And y'all niggas in here capping for him? Go stand in line for his autograph in hell. And what he gonna tell you?
We just said he got found not guilty. Ain't nothing to do about it.
But that's fine. And I said before we even went into this that you can be found not guilty for something and actually do it.
Yeah, now look at Jonathan Majors. He got found guilty of something. He was trying to get the fuck away.
Jonathan Majors, he is a repeat offender. We heard him on the phone talking about how he beat some girl up. Did we not hear him say that?
No, I said Jonathan Majors.
Yes! He was on the phone talking about he hit his girl.
Yeah, but you okay. I hear what you say. Okay, let me break this down to you, Rick, because this is why I say I'm 50-50. I done seen women put people in bad situations when it may seem like one thing, but it's not. Tell them to play the whole audio of their whole conversation. Not from what she wants you to hear. Play it from when they got on the phone till they got off the phone. And tell me if you still feel that same way.
I didn't. Whoa, hold on.
Wait.
I didn't tell you. No, hold up. You're wrong. But that's not the conversation we're talking about, Ty. I think you're in the wrong spot. What we're saying is, bro, that's not what we said with Shannon Sharp. Hold on. We didn't say, or I didn't say that Shannon Sharp is guilty of doing those things to her. I said he got caught with her recording him. He fell for the trap. I don't think he's guilty of SA. Yeah, I don't think that. Absolutely not. I don't think he's guilty of the sexual assault or whatever. Absolutely not. How? She told him to. Yeah, she told him to put a thingy on and that he can do, whatever. She said just not that cavity. That's what they're talking about here. That's all.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Hell no. First of all, she's sitting here telling you the dollar amount for each cheek. How the hell is that a sexual assault? That sounds like a handshake deal to me, or a butt cheek deal to me. Yeah, no. He's not going down for that. Sharp is going down for public perception. He's going to lose the battle in the court of public opinion. They're going to look at him as a womanizer or a deviant. He can't think. Listen, doesn't matter. The point is she's 19. She's OnlyFans. That's what happened. He's screwed for that. That's what's going to kill him.
Rick, what does he mean by each cheek? What the fuck was that supposed to mean? Like that's.
I guess he wanted she $25,000 for each cheek.
But I thought they said he paid for her BBL. They said he paid for the BBL she got. I don't know if it's true.
It don't look like she got no BBL.
I'm about to say he need to get his money back because I didn't see no NASA tall. Call her NASA tall.
I don't know. I saw it look like she got something done.
No, Mag, we're not saying that he sexually assaulted her. Nobody believes that shit. They had a relationship. Hell, she was telling. Does it sound like you sexually assaulted someone that said, "Put a black baby in me"? Does that sound like sexual assault to you?
Yeah.
That sounds like entrapment. Did you want to trap this nigga?
She wanted child support.
Ike was
big facts.
Sexually assaulting Tina. That was his wife, and Ike was sexually assaulting her.
Oh well, that nigga was assaulting her. Like the sexual assault was in. That was a bad nigga, man. I mean, yeah.
He was assaulting and sexually.
So wait a minute, hold on. Y'all killing Ike Turner, but OJ gets a pass? What the hell?
Hey, I seen Ike do it on the movie. I ain't seen
man, you fucking coon. Yo, y'all niggas are something else, bro.
Hey, Rick, because you keep with this OJ, the evidence and all that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Central Park 5. The victim said they did it.
Well, that's wrong. Then they should go to jail for.
They admitted they did it in an interrogation room, and they still was innocent. So you can believe they innocent, but you won't believe OJ innocent.
Bro, hold on a second. Smoothie. No, you didn't get anything. We have DNA evidence. You don't have no this motherfucker. There's DNA evidence of OJ, that woman, and her friend in his goddamn truck. Now, unless he was fucking driving an Uber, bringing them home that night, how the fuck did that happen? How?
They said they did it. You don't fucking evidence that the person admit. Yeah,
nigga, this is DNA evidence that has freed people and put people in jail. What are you talking about? We do everything by DNA. They got a goddamn hit show, forensic files, all this shit because of DNA, because of this fucking case. This started all that DNA shit because they found it. This OJ case started all this DNA talk, all of this shit. So you blame OJ when they find out that you ain't been fucking paying them child support payments. This all came from that. All of this.
Rick, let's say I got a wife. You sleep with her. I see you sleeping with her. As soon as you leave the house, 5 minutes later, I offer and I get up out of there. They gonna see that girl just had sex, and who you think they gonna think killed her? Who DNA in her? Ricky's.
Yeah, but no, nigga. This is when I say DNA, nigga. This was blood, nigga. This is blood. What the fuck is blood, nigga? Wait. Okay, you know what? Go in my Cadillac right now and find some fucking blood of some girl that I used to smash. I'm going to jail.
That don't mean you killed her, though.
But I'm still going to jail. If I don't have no alibi. Yeah, unless she was on her period or something, I got no explanation. Well, I'm done, bro. And it wasn't just
that evidence. They said Thurman put that blood there.
Bro, the evidence was found in the fucking house and the car. He's guilty. I mean, I don't know how else to tell y'all. But they told you that they didn't collect the evidence the right way. And that they freaking had it in a hot car. Bro, any other story, that person's going to jail because their DNA evidence is in there. They are done.
It was 12 people that didn't believe.
Bro, they had all this DNA evidence and he went to jail over a fucking glove. That's how he got off. Not the evidence of the DNA. He said, I can't fit this fucking thing. He said, look, I can't fit the glove. Nigga, and I ain't never seen a guilty man run down a highway with a pistol against his head. Talk about I'm out of here. I ain't never seen an innocent man do that shit. What? He did that. He rode down the highway with a disguise, $30,000 in cash, headed for Mexico. He did that. Are you telling me he's innocent? Get the fuck out of here.
Rick, if they looking for me for killing a white girl and I got $30,000, you think I'm not leaving too? I'm not turning my
man, nigga. You're O.J. fucking Simpson. You're gonna get the best lawyer. All you gotta do is get book fingerprinted. Shit, my mother will bail him out. She's got a bonds company. Come on, man. If that nigga was innocent, he would have never ran.
Well, they said he innocent, so he got free.
Listen, man. How many brothers went to jail when we were innocent? And then we had to use this same DNA shit to get us the fuck out 20 years later, and they only give us $1.8 million.
And that's the point we making, Ricky.
So don't tell me.
20 years you sitting up in jail.
Yeah. Bro, first of all, no. That's not how it goes, brother. A poor man like us ain't O.J. fucking Simpson. The cops let this nigga come all the way back home after a high-speed chase, get a glass of orange juice, call his lawyer, have the lawyer take that fucking bag that had evidence in it, and then he turns himself in. That nigga's not... Get the fuck out of here. Y'all niggas are tripping. That nigga was guilty. If somebody offed my wife or girlfriend, why the fuck am I gonna go on the highway and run? I didn't do shit. But if I did it, I'm out of here. I'm gonna leave all this PC, these toys, I'm out. See y'all niggas later. Going to Jamaica.
OJ said he didn't do it.
Man, y'all niggas is crazy. Y'all niggas don't see the forest through the trees. I ain't never seen a fucking innocent man running the highway holding a gun to his head with $30,000 cash and with a disguise. What does that tell you? Man.
Ricky, look, I believe it at this, Ricky. My baby moms have seizures. Recently, she's been having seizures. One day, she wanted to come see me. I said, something happened to you in this house and you died. They gonna say I killed you. You're not coming over here. I'll be prime suspect.
Okay. Well,
I'm gonna run too, knowing damn well I ain't do nothing to that girl. I'm running.
Listen, the running, the cut on his finger that he had, he said it's because he threw a vase. Come on, though. How you gonna get your cut on your finger because you threw a vase? That's what he said. He said he threw a vase and he had a cut on his finger.
He was mad.
Listen, yo, y'all tripping. That nigga.
You been called the coon before?
You were cooning, Rick.
Listen,
you're cooning right now, Rick.
How the fuck am I? Okay, you know what, man? I pray at night that nothing happens to anybody in y'all family where a motherfucker is guilty and he gets off and y'all have to live with that. I pray that never happens to y'all.
If he gets off, I'm gonna whack him.
Huh?
You think Beretta did that shit?
Who, Beretta? Oh, that white dude that killed his wife? The guy that played on the show? The guy that played for that show? Hell, we know Lacey Peterson got killed by her husband. Nigga, it's all... Listen, the funny thing is, when a spouse or former spouse is killed, 9 times out of 10, it's the spouse. It's usually the husband or the boyfriend.
Oh, he was the cop from Money Train. The cop from Money Train that got locked up for killing his wife and shooting her.
Yeah, he probably did it.
No, ain't no problem. No. Do you think he did it, Ricky?
I don't know the details of that case. Like, I lived the OJ case. I remember when I was in school and shit, and this was like one of the topics. We talked about it all the time. I didn't give a fuck about that case. That was the money train. I mean, I'm sorry for her, but we didn't care about that.
Yeah, I think they were showing OJ case in schools, right? If I'm not mistaken, I was a little young at that time, but I think they was like showing that shit in school.
When the OJ shit was going, they were showing it in my school. We for the first time ever, we had TVs in the classroom because we knew the verdict was getting read. We knew, we was like, yo, my grandmother thought he was going to jail because she said, yeah, I see all that evidence. And then I remember Nana was like, what's this DAN or DAA evidence? I said, Nana, that's like blood. Well, they're matching the blood up to the people. I said, that blood from his wife and from her boyfriend is in his car. And Nana said, oh, no, I think he's going to jail. I was like, yeah, I think so, too. Until they put that damn glove on, and the motherfucker said, hey, I can't fit this shit. So, I mean, yeah, well, listen, I do. It's funny y'all say that. I do watch a lot of murder mysteries before I go to sleep at night. 100%. So, listen. So, we going to get up off the OJ shit, but I tell you what. If he didn't do it, then who fucking did it? Where's this random guy that just stomped upon these poor Jews and stabbed them to death? But,
Adolf did it, man.
Okay. All right, I think he's dead too. A lot of these dudes are dead now, but that was the OJ Simpson.
They said he went missing. I think they said after the
case,
he just went. Nobody never seen him again. Like he got the fuck up. He went missing.
Yeah, something happened to him. But now for show constraints here, we're gonna go to what other? We got another article, right? Lanterns and Superman article, Levon.
Yes, we do.
All right, let's go with the Lanterns one.
Lanterns. Okay, so Lanterns flag leak shows how Hal and Jordan take to the skies.
Oh, there's a homeless man again. That's a lantern.
Yeah.
Now look, when you look at that guy, doesn't he look like a poor man's Joel? Like he looks like the guy that didn't get the part. You know what I'm saying?
That was a horrible. I don't know why they got him to. That was a bad lantern, I think.
Hal Hobo. Look at him. Looks terrible.
Lanterns will use CGI and visual effects to show the Green Lanterns flying. Yeah.
Well, I mean, hell, Stevie Wonder could see that. I mean, this, hell, I mean, unless these guys learn how to fly for real, I would expect that. Is anybody on the panel or out there in the chat? Are you guys excited for this Lantern show?
No.
Oh. Nah. Oh, damn.
I do like Green Lantern. I gotta see the trailer though.
Oh man, so nobody likes it. All right. All right, let's do the Superman article.
All right, the superhero team of James Gunn, Superman's reboot will be known as the Justice Gang.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What is
it? Yeah, the Justice Gang.
Oh man.
Is that a real thing?
Well, I guess. Yeah. Well, this is before they got the Bruce Wayne financial backing.
That Green Lantern thing, Rick.
Huh?
I actually was it a preview for that Green Lantern, whatever that thing was you had up there.
Oh no, Ty, that's a show. It's gonna be a show on Max, Ty. Up there. That's they're gonna have a Lantern show, Ty, on Max, which Max is doing very well right now. They got The Last of Us. It'd be interesting to see what The Last of Us viewership is for this week. All right, so speaking of Last of Us, we're gonna close the show with this, and I think if you guys didn't finish what we call it, Banshee. I think you do it now. We're done with Banshee. We got to Levon. We'll meet tomorrow and figure out something else to watch because we're in need of some. Yeah, we're in need of some stuff. And by the way, folks, overall, I gave Banshee a B+ as far as overall series. The only season I didn't like was the last one. It looks like they got a little bit of money. It didn't even have 10 episodes, and they just shot it to hell. It was almost like they gave up. I think the studios must have had some extra money left in some shoes or some socks and said, hey, we can, make a show out of it. All in all, I think the guy that played Homelander played a hell of a role. That probably got him the Homelander role. Because he played, he has Homelander mannerisms in that show. So, shout out to that show. And the show that I'm talking about is Banshee. Banshee was a good show. Levon recommended it. Shout out to Levon for recommending a good show to us. Because there were times we had some bad shows. I'm guilty as charged. I was the guy that bought Severance around. That was my fault. But that'll never happen again. But shout out to Levon for bringing Banshee to the know-how. It had a lot of heavies in there. It was good. Appreciated it. All right, now we are going to talk about what everybody wants to talk about, or all you Sony ponies want to talk about. Now will be The Last of Us Season 2, Episode 3.
Oh, God.
Yeah, Joel's dead. Apparently, Ellie was, what was she? She was laid up for 3 months, right? Didn't they say it was 3 months that she was laid up? First of all, did anybody watch this fucking thing?
No, I don't watch The Last of Us, man. You know,
oh,
I don't play it, I don't watch it.
Oh my god! All right, so he didn't watch it. Okay.
I didn't give a chance to say what I felt about Joel died last week.
Okay, go ahead.
But that was trash, Rick. And I don't care how they feel about it. That was trash. They could have did his death better than that because, first of all, she was supposed to walk in while Joel was getting the crap completely beat out of him. And then he should have got stolen. I ain't saying it had to be point on point, but I ain't like how they did his death because you could tell how she was acting. Something was up. And it's like he didn't notice nothing. She was jumping and she was fidgeting, and he didn't notice nothing about what was going on. He was just worried about getting back to that camp. That was stupid to me. And when old girl when he got hit with the golf club, I like that part. Now I ain't gonna lie. When she golf clubbed him, I'm like, yeah. I can't say the word, but I'm like, yeah, you one of those, Rick. Go ahead and get up, man. She was like, you about to die slow, and I was like, okay, this trash. I gave that a 5. I was with Mello. That's a 5. So the delivery was trash. The episode was fire up to him dying. How you watch the end of the episode, but leading up to it was good. Them running from the zombies, all that was good. The zombies attacking the base, all that was good up to his death. Then it just made it a 5.
Damn. So, now you're talking about last week's episode.
Yeah, last week's episode. I ain't getting my talk because they kept cutting me out because I kept saying it was trash, and they kept jumping me when I said that. They said I was a bot, but I was just keeping it real.
Now, what about this week's episode?
It was trash too. I don't like this show, but I'm gonna watch it for y'all.
Oh man, Larry Buzz, did you watch it?
Why would I?
Damn.
My God, y'all ferocious out here.
It's trash, man.
Y'all got to watch it to say it's trash. At least I watched it to call it. You got to give it some. You give it like 3 minutes of the show and know something about it just to trash it.
Oh, man.
Well, all right, Levon, what'd you think?
It was okay.
What score you give it, Levon?
Probably 6 or 7.
Wow,
6 or 7. That's kind of high, ain't it?
No, that's low.
I said it was okay.
Oh, okay.
What you think? Okay,
I'm the Last of Us hater on. I mean,
okay.
I'm just like, man, let this shit die, bro. Come on. The game came out on PS3, man. God damn.
Well,
I the game like 5 times.
Well, but here's what I would say: she didn't look as ugly as she normally does in this episode.
Oh God.
So, I would for that you get at least a 7.5. You know,
girl ain't at least kind of buff looking. They let a little girl beat him. That's what had made me mad too, because I'm like, she looked like she like my 14-year-old cousin. Brought her fought back. At least if you gonna kill me, I'm gonna fight back. You not finna just kill me like you not.
Your fucking kneecap with a shotgun.
I don't give a damn. You gonna have to fucking kill me. I'm sorry, Rick. I just said some words I should have said.
That's all right. Go ahead. Listen, that's all right, brother. It's your
sorry,
it's your show too, brother. You can say whatever you want.
I'm just saying, ain't no way I'm just saying, okay, you hit me. But she looked like a 12-year-old girl. I'm not finna just let her kill me like that. I'm sorry.
Shotgun, man. You ain't no you done. You can't fight back. You done.
Yeah, in the knee. My arm still work. I'm sorry.
Look, I said it before. I'll say it again.
I was just gonna keep fighting till I die, but ain't no way I'm gonna let a 12-year-old girl beat me. I'm sorry.
Well, she's like 19 now, though.
Yeah, but if it was the buff Abby, I can understand him not fighting back because he knew he wasn't gonna win. But that little girl looked like she 12, Rick, and that make no. Why y'all keep calling that girl hideous?
She is. Listen, now let me ask you this, Ty. Are you looking forward to watching, or now, like, since Joel's dead, the air is out of the balloon? Is it, or are you like, you know what?
I'm glad you said. I had this conversation with people, and they said they didn't like the second game because she didn't kill Abby. But I had to, so I'm like, you didn't understand. I don't like this game, but I understand why she didn't kill her. Cause in her mind, she felt like she basically went down the path Abby did. She was gonna keep coming until she found and killed her. She killed all his friends that was in the room. They all died, I believe. I don't know if every last one of them. I think she killed every last one, and I think his brother killed one of them. Right? I think so. But what was it gonna do? You was just gonna have the same cycle. You was gonna keep killing them, and they was gonna keep killing you. So he let her go. So I understand why she let Abby go. I don't think people understand that. I want to see how she get the rest of them because she says she gonna get them. I just hope they deaths be better than Joe death because Joe death was trash to me. I don't know how you feel about it.
It was a little anticlimactic. And I think, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. Man, it was almost like it let the air out of the balloon. I mean, Joel was one of the favorite characters from the first one, but I mean, look, he had to die. He had to die. Whatever. But you can't
And
tell
we
me.
gotta remember, like I said before, it's not gonna have that same hit for us because we know what's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I got a question.
You know, y'all gotta get somebody opinion that it's their first time that never played the game. I want to hear what. I ain't hear no opinions. I don't know no people that ain't played the game that watch that show. I want to hear somebody opinion that never played the game.
Thrill Ali said worst casting ever. Oh man.
I got a question for you since you saying that. How they gonna do that fight at the end? Because you remember the way they led it up was Abby was bigger than her, and what's her name was smaller, and at the very end she got little. That girl already little. So what? How you finna make that girl look at the end of this show? Because she's already too small.
CGI.
I don't know. That I felt like they didn't think that casting of her out right. To me,
Because
honestly.
I told you what Neil Druckmann said was it wasn't about her being big. The whole point of her being big was so you could have a brute in the game, like you could feel like you was playing with Joe still. He said her size wasn't really needed to the story. It was just so like when you switch between her and Abby, it's like you got Abby, then you got the brute, like if you was playing with Joe. That's why she was big. They said her size is not important. That's what Neil Druckmann said. Anyway.
No, I understand that, but I'm just saying, getting to the end, she was the same size as the old girl at the end of the show. But how can you make her get any smaller when she's little already? She already.
They might either CGI her looking smoked out or CGI her looking like something happened over time and she got bigger and then put her back to where I don't know. That is a good question though.
Well,
if they don't change the whole ending period and make it some whole other shit,
we're gonna see. Well, that's all I got. Anybody got anything else?
Fuck this show.
Oh man. All right. Well, hey, look, that concludes the Watchtower of this week. We will have a gaming show sometime this week. I'm gonna give you guys my review of Avowed. Yeah, I finally. Yeah, hey, listen, bro. RPGs, I turn over every rock, every stick, every stone. I do all the side missions just so I can say that, hey, you know, this was missing or whatever. And I'm not too ecstatic. I'll just put it that way. However, my dreams have been, how can I say this, come true, sort of, because South of Midnight is very fun to play. I like it. So far, so good with South of Midnight.
8.5 out of 10.
I'm at chapter 6, I think, right now. So
you got 7 more to go.
Damn.
You at the longest chapter. You in the longest chapter right now with that.
Yeah, because with the alligator. Yeah, me and that catfish has been hanging around and shit. So we'll see how that goes. Look, I want to thank everybody that came through. Appreciate y'all. Sorry I was late. Ty came a little late. Don't know what's up with Deuce. I think he's the only one that's missing. Parker's unreliable, so hey, he said he didn't want to come do the show. That's fine. It's all good. I don't know where Big Money is, so Parker don't show up. Big Money, come on down. So that's just how it is. That is what it is, and that's how it is. So I ain't worried about I'm worried about the people that's here. That's not the people that's not here. So Matt Javon says South of Midnight is mid as hell. One of the worst final bosses. All right, Vaughn, did you play the game, or are you just talking about some YouTube channel that you watch play the game? Because that's your opinion. I don't think it's mid. I actually like the game. I'm not gonna go eat clips and leave you a message and tell you all that stuff. We just have different opinions. All right, Vaughn said he beat the game. All right, cool. That's it. That holds weight.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I usually don't agree with him, but he ain't lying. That's why I gave it an 8.5. That last boss.
Okay, well, hold on a second. He said it's mid, so mid would be a 5 out of 10, would it not?
I don't think it's mid. That's why my score
okay,
dropped.
but I'm just saying. But mid would mean 5 out of 10. That's mid.
8.5 is good, money.
No, I'm just saying. Vaughn said it's mid, so mid would be 5 out of 10. I would think, right? That's in the middle, or a 6.
Yeah,
I thought it was. I liked it.
A 7 is good? You would say the game is good if it's a 7?
I would think so. I mean, Days Gone was like a 7. I liked it.
Would you recommend somebody play it?
Yes.
That's the real question.
I would.
Okay.
I like the.
Me is good, but it's just
the story so far so good. The story is good. I like the music that they play in it. You really feel like you're in that Cajun whatever the hell's going on down there. Where you know. The cut. Listen, I ain't gonna lie to you. So Ty said mid means average. So Ty, average would be like a 75, like a C, when we were in school. Max City said his opinion is trash and is irrelevant. He hates everything, not Sony. Oh man. All right. Well, I like the game so far. And I don't think it's mid. I can't judge it right now. I'm only on the 6th chapter. So, once I get all the way through, I like it. I really like the game. It's kind of like a platformer and shit where you're jumping around and shit like that. That's cool. I mean, listen, man. Listen, I'm not telling you that the damn thing is a 10 out of 10, but I don't think it's mid. The Gloved Official, shout out to him for being here. He said, "Damn, 7 out of 10 is playing good." Yeah, I would think so. Yeah. So Ty said, she said, "I don't know." Yeah, Ty, yeah, talk your shit, Ty, that woman. Ty talking that shit. She said she never got a C in school. She never did. Never did. Shout out to Ty, that woman. So yeah, man, that's true. Look, I'm gonna finish the game. Look, I'm one of those guys that I like to finish the game before I give it a review. I don't like to say, well, that's why when I review something, I don't review it. I give first impressions. Me and Levon, we do that all the time. Hey, my first impressions of this are what? My first impressions of South of Midnight are, it's okay. I like it. That's what I would say. And anyway, got to see how it was. My first impressions of Avowed were about 85, I thought, when I first played it. I would just say that once I finished it, it went a lot lower than that. Because, the one thing to make a RPG, you don't want to streamline an RPG and take out major things of an RPG, because then it's not an RPG anymore. It's then an action adventure with RPG elements. So, which was if you guys play Final Fantasy VII Remake, that's not an RPG or JRPG. That's like an action adventure. They cut away a lot of the RPG aspects of it. They still have some of them in there, but they cut it. You don't have the ship that you fly around in. You remember if you guys, any of y'all played the original Final Fantasy VII, you had a whole bunch of different characters to choose from. You had a bunch. So now, Glove Official says Expedition 33 is probably the best game out so far, but Doom Dark Ages might take it. Briarios says ex-Ubisoft devs still got skill. Exception 33. Yeah, I hear about this. I'm gonna move on to that next after I finish South of Midnight, which should be sometime this by Friday. But I'm gonna move on to that instead of moving on to Oblivion, because I don't want to move on to Oblivion Remaster because that game you're gonna spend lots and lots of hours into Oblivion. I'm not.
Burials, thank you for the $2. XU Ubisoft Dev still got skill. Expedition 33. Thank you for the $2, Burials.
Where were you at? He said that like 3 minutes ago.
He was deafened. He didn't know. So, all right. You playing it right now? All right.
The gameplay fire. I ain't gonna lie. I like the gameplay.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. All right. So, hey, everybody, bring your best games, the games that you like the most. We're gonna talk about them on the what vampire thing?
Remember you told us to pick our favorite.
Oh, well, we're gonna do that next week. Half the crew's missing. Half the crew's missing. Deuce ain't here. Parker ain't here. So
you know he gonna play Twilight. He don't play active Parker. It's Twilight.
Oh man. Center, no, not Center. We're gonna the next week, next Monday. Everybody on the panel, everybody on the chat, tell us what your favorite or best vampire movie is, and we will talk about them. We're going to review them for those that have seen them. And I've seen almost every damn vampire movie, except for that Twilight shit. And, I think I watched one of them. I couldn't take it. Sometimes you do weird things just to go on a date, watch a terrible movie. But anyway, yes, From Dusk Till Dawn, Fright Night are two of my favorites. So we're going to get into it. Blade, Vamp. There's some good movies out there. Bram Stoker's Dracula. Interview with the Vampire. So we'll get on it. He said the last Twilight fight scene was dope. Lost Boys, yep. Lost Boys, Underworld. Yeah, I can't wait. So bring your best vampire movie next Monday. We will see y'all next Monday. I gotta study for this. Well, it's not a test, but something that's going on I gotta take care of. All right. I appreciate y'all for being here, and I'll get up with y'all.